Welcome back to Doing Human Better 101, the fundamentals of humaning. I'm Dr. Michelle. Today, we're talking about boundaries, and not the trendy surface level version of boundaries. We're talking about the kind of boundaries that require courage, the kind that force you to be honest with yourself and others, the kind that protect your energy, even when it feels uncomfortable to do so. Because boundaries aren't about being harsh, they're about being intentional. For a long time, many of us were taught that being polite, being loving, being kind meant that we had to be endlessly available, always accessible, right? Being kind means always saying yes. And being strong meant that we could carry anything. You were never given more than you could bear, so you can do it, right? But what we don't talk through is how much that energy costs. Every interaction, every relationship, every request, they all require something from us, and they all pull from somewhere. Listen, if we're not intentional about where our energy goes, we can end up exhausted, disconnected, and even resentful. Here's the not so fun part. Not everyone deserves the same access to you. That doesn't make you selfish, it makes you discerning. Some people have not earned space in your life, not because they're bad people, not because the exchange wasn't mutual. At some point you were friends, some of them may be family members. That's an even tougher conversation. But they take more than they give, right? They drain more than they replenish, and they require more than they respect. So here's something that I had to learn in this piece of my own self-awareness. Sometimes people will walk away from you when you set boundaries. And that's okay, because maybe they didn't need to be in your space anyway. Setting boundaries requires courage, because it often means disappointing people, and you don't know how they're going to react. It means choosing yourself sometimes, right? And for people who are used to you overextending yourself, your boundaries could actually be interpreted as rejection. But hopefully, people who truly care about you and your well-being will know that boundaries are not punishment. They are an act of self-care. And you will realize who really supports you in that and who doesn't. So a real growth moment is going to be determining if there are people who have access to you today, have access to you simply because they always have. Not because they were safe for you, not because the relationship is balanced or healthy, but because it feels easier keeping them in your life than it is removing them. But ease is not the same as alignment or health. And over time, that misalignment can show up for you as fatigue, frustration, emotional distance, even from yourself. Because sometimes you just get so exhausted from being so accessible in so many ways, you just literally have to shut down. That is why it is so important to be intentional about where you give your energy and where you don't. Because you don't want to run out of energy knowing that it was provided in a place that it didn't deserve to be. So for today, the lesson really is, if you want to do human better, you have to be intentional and selective with your energy. It means asking, does this relationship honor my boundaries? Does this relationship honor my health, my emotional health, my spiritual health? Is there reciprocity there? Meaning, and this was a real learning for me, if the phone does not ring because you picked it up, will you receive a call? Will that person check in on you as well? That's reciprocity in relationships. Do I feel restored or depleted after speaking to this person? We all have that person in our lives where when we call them, the sky's always falling. And they tell you all of these things often without even checking in on you. They just want you to be an ear, to dump all of their chaos and negativity and situations on you. But that's still depleting from your energy because you have to absorb that, right? So just know that a good boundary for you is knowing that everyone does not deserve access to you or even unlimited access. You owe yourself care, honesty, and sustainability. So today, your homework is simple. Again, I always say simple, but brave. Identify where your energy is being overextended. It's probably going to be very uncomfortable, but that's okay because, again, change and progress is uncomfortable. If you ever find yourself comfortable, that means you're probably not growing. You're sitting. Ask yourself, has the person that you've identified in this conversation that you need to have they earned the level of energy and access that they have to be identified as someone who is potentially overextending you? Why are you allowing that to happen? Is this a boundary that you need to set that you haven't? And is it really worth the time and energy that you're expending? If the answer is no, give yourself permission to adjust. Doing human better is not about cutting people off, right? But it is about choosing yourself so you can show up whole. So what do you need to do to make sure that you're showing up whole? I want to leave you with this. Boundaries are not walls. They are invitations to healthier versions of yourself.